So now let's talk a little bit about improvising over the guitar solo section of Love Like Kerosene. So what I did today is I started with what I played on Back to Making Live. And then I worked my way into some variations and tried to incorporate as much of what I played on Back to Making Live as possible without playing it note for note. And this is sort of to showcase and explain what I did on that record and why, but also to show how my approach to playing on this has evolved since way back in 2011. So I started out, just like I did on Back to Making Live, with playing your basic sort of inverted seventh chord in the key of E. So everyone knows this. So just starting with that, moving it back a half step, and of course trilling with the picking hand. So I got the pick here, and I'm doing, I don't know, what is 30-second notes? I don't know what those are, but against the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I do that, I think about a piano player. Like I think about Pine Top. When I used to see him, or the couple of times I got to play with him, he'd do this trilling thing when he'd start solos. Then we move it up, another inverted seventh, this time D, E, B. Now, one of my influences, who's not talked about often enough, is Lonnie Mack. Great Texas-based blues rock guitarist from the 60s, and he was a huge influence on the Vaughan brothers and really anybody from the Texas scene, and just really wonderful guitar player all around. But he cut a bunch of like boogie style records in more of the Texas boogie style. So I'd say this next set of first position stuff is chiefly influenced by him and guys from the Texas sound, and then his successors like Johnny Winter, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Lightnin' Hopkins. They all have a certain way of approaching the first position, and it's these kind of clustered phrases mixed with melodies. So from there I go into like, so all that stuff, E pentatonic blues in the first position, utilizing the open strings because we're in E. And that lick is like same as this, but with an open E. And sometimes I rake that. So you got that upstroke trick there. And another thing, again, that I learned from these Texas guys is all really strong moves in the key of E. Then I move up to the 7th fret. And this part is definitely sort of a tip of the hat to Freddie King, but with my own kind of approach to it. You do a lot of variations is what I'm trying to say. So you got that double stop at the 7th fret, which is the 5th and the minor 3rd, and then you kind of get that quarter bend while holding the pitch on the 5th. It's a very saxophone type approach. Reminds me of, Illinois Jack Cat or Louis Jordan or, King Curtis, any of those guys. And then, of course, which is like just some basic blues run with thirds. 10th fret, 9th fret. I mean, you could play a whole solo just with that, Finally, get up to the 12th fret. Everyone knows this position. So that's all basic 12th fret, minor pentatonic blues. Then I do this thing, which is very much a 50s, 60s saxophone lick, is bending up to the octave, the E, then catching the fretted E. Finally getting up into the extension. And then, on the Back to Making Live record, I play a lick that is definitely a straight up Lonnie Mack style bend that, of course, was adapted by pretty much everyone after him, but I think he's one of the originators of this, is where you bend here at the extension up to the fifth, and then you get it up there and hold it and pick repeatedly once it's up there. And then you vibrato. That's like right out of Wham by Lonnie Mack, or his instrumental called Memphis, which was a variation on an instrumental version of Chuck Berry's Memphis, Tennessee song. But he does a bunch of licks on those tracks that's like that. So you get that thing where you vibrato and then you let the pitch drop off. And now I've knocked myself out of tune. So I think that pretty much does it. Check out all those guys. Magic Sam, Lonnie Mack, the Vaughan Brothers, Johnny Winter, Freddie King, Hubert Sumlin. They're all mixed into the brew on this one.